Hello. All right. Hello, my loves. This is another edition of Talks with Toya on the Complete Woman podcast. And I am doing my series on grief, the untold stories. As I have said before, if you have watched any of the videos in this series, I have been getting questions about grief, and because I don't feel like I am a major intelligence or whatever you want to call it, I'm not a lot knowledgeable about it, let me say, because I don't have a lot of grief in certain areas. So because of that, I wanted to get certain people to come with me and to speak about their own journey with grief, what they've had to deal with, the encounter with it, and the effects of it, to help other people, because all of us grieve differently, but at the end of the day, there is something that someone can say that can speak to a certain area of your life that can be absolutely changing, that it could change everything about you. It could change how you look at it, how you feel about it. It can change it. It doesn't make it go away, but it can change the way that you view it. And that is my goal, is to change the way that you view it and the way that you process it. If it's being processed in a negative way, I don't want that for you. I want you to process this as positively as you can and get through it. And I learned that from a friend. You get through this, you don't get over it. You get through it. And I want you all to get through it very, very strong, and even better than when you went in it, and be able to help someone else. Because as we know, and we don't like it, our story is always for someone else. It's not always for us. So today I have my amazing sis, Aquarius Skipper.
Fingers.
Baby, y'all be talking about my fingers, but that's fine. That's my trademark now.
Right. Period. Get into it. Get into the fingers.
Get into the fingers. Come on. Listen, y'all, this is probably gonna be dumb because she's dumb. Okay. Every time I talk to her, I legit have to tell her, I don't want to talk to you anymore and leave me alone. I can't. We have to sit on two separate sides of the church.
But we look at each other and be like, you can't,
right,
girl, it's you. It's you. It's your time.
Right, it's so stupid. It is so crazy. And I just absolutely love her. She is absolutely amazing. And I really, when I was thinking about this and doing this, God laid certain people on my heart, as I have said before, and she was one of those people. And she was one of those people, number one, because she lost her husband. And so to speak to from a spouse's point of view, I wanted to have her on. And she is a minister of God. Hallelujah.
Bless the Lord. Hallelujah.
A preaching something, okay?
Hallelujah.
That baby
Hallelujah.
preaches, okay? Check that. Baby preaches. She don't want people to know that, but she preaches, okay? And she is the creator and CEO of Stiletto Pieces, and I have one on today. So you guys, we will give you the information later on how to contact her to get you a custom made, okay?
Stiletto.
Custom made stiletto piece, okay? Baby will custom make it for you. Matter of fact, I got a piece I need to get from you. Come to think of it.
You do. And that's probably the one I'm going to show. You do, because it's been done for months.
Yeah, but COVID messed that up. But you know, I want my piece, so give away my piece. You have to make another one.
I am.
Okay.
Guys are so, they're so disrespectful about these.
Listen, because when they started making these pieces, I was like, wait a minute, come on. And they are so versatile, and this is not the only kind that she makes. So you would have to go, like I said, I will give the information out later of where you can go to see some of her other work. But hello, Aquarius. Thank you for joining me.
Hello. Hold up, I ain't doing right.
These fingers is gonna take me out.
You gotta know what this means. You don't know? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That means you ain't watching, but that's okay.
Your work undone if you don't know. See? You feel me? You don't know what this means? That means your work undone. Get into it. Period.
Come on,
stop acting up.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Stop acting up. Stop.
Okay. Not doing this. Listen.
See? It's always up, but she blamed me. But go ahead. Okay.
You know what? All right, I'm not gonna do it. Anywho, before I tell too much about you, Aquarius, tell the people about Aquarius. Who is she?
Ooh, child. A mess.
A mess.
I'm a mom of 3, Alexis, Kayla, and Mahogany. I'm a Grammy of Mr. Legend Gordon. The best that ever done it, period. And yeah, I'm a worshiper. I'm a preacher. I'm a singer. I sing with Meacham Clark and Company. I've been with Meacham Clark and True Purpose for years. Yeah, that's my life, really. To be really honest, that's what I do. I like to cook. And I am Miss Stiletto Piece herself. And yeah, that's pretty much my life.
Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Yes, ma'am. I'm here for the stiletto pieces and the cooking. I'm here for it. And I am definitely one of the biggest supporters of Meacham Clark and Company. So I think, is that how we met? I can't remember if that's how we met. Because I know I knew you before you came to St. Paul. St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, if y'all want to check it out with the Bishop, John Eric Guns. We have 2 locations.
2 locations.
Oakleaf and Northside. She's at Oakleaf. I'm at Northside.
I'm an avid member of the Oakleaf Church. Amen. That's my church.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, check out either location, and you can check us out. Matter of fact, right now you can't check us out on location, but you can check us out online.
Definitely check us out online.
And Sunday. You can check us out.
And we coming through like way here. Period.
So yes, I think that's where we met. I think I met because my sister is a part of Meacham Clark and Company, and I've known Meacham for years, so I've been to like everything that they have. So I think that's where I met you, and then when you came to St. Paul, it just kind of made the relationship just a little more solid, So yeah, but yeah, we've known each other for a minute. That's my girl, and so like I said, I have her here because it just was a year, right, that your husband passed away.
So he actually passed away on his birthday, the 25th. He actually had a heart attack on the 11th of last year. That's what led into him passing.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, because I'm one of those people, I don't be like, well, hey, what happened? I was just trying to beat up a friend or whatever. I never wanted to know. So I didn't know that. So before we get into all of that, tell us about him. Tell us about your relationship with him.
Oh, child, let me get some tissue because you're trying to make me cry.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow.
I'm sorry.
So my husband, it's okay. His name is, because I still speak about him in the present, but his name is Derek Skipper. So I actually went to school with my husband, high school. Been on my husband for over 20 years. And me and he and I were good friends. We were good friends where we just used to go and, have dinner and hang out, you know what I'm saying? But we were just friends. And actually his cousin is the one who brought us together as more than friends, because I just want to advise that I wasn't looking for a boyfriend or a husband. And baby just showed up. out of pocket. But anywho, yeah. So he was a big guy, a loving guy, very supportive, very loyal. He was a hardworking man. Loved the children. You know, my children. We didn't have children together, but we had children. You know, I had my children, and he has a son as well. And we brought them together as a family. He treated them always as his kids, and he was just the man. He was just the man. He was a good husband, and he was just the man. Period.
Awesome. And I want singles out there to notice what she said. They were friends and she wasn't looking for him.
No.
See, there's a word in that, but I'm not gonna really preach it right now. I'll preach it probably on another video, but I be trying to help your singles out, you know what I'm saying?
This word gonna bless you.
This word.
One more time. Let's say it one more time for the people in the back.
This word will bless
not looking for a boyfriend, because I didn't want that either. So wasn't interested in none of that mess. You know, when you've been there, you done that, it's kind of okay. Absolutely. And so you just in your own lane doing your own thing, not really, and then he shows up.
Huh? Because that's okay. Because it's a word. In your own lane, minding your business, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And God will send the very thing that you need, that you wasn't even looking for.
And he gonna do that every time.
Every time.
Wait for him.
Wait. Oh. Huh? Okay. See, we gonna get off track. See, don't do it.
Okay.
We gonna get we can go.
All right. I ain't gonna do it.
You know, I just wanted to throw that in there for all my singles. You know, hey, hold on, just do your thing.
Wait for it.
Be you,
and stop looking for it.
And it'll come. It'll come.
Because that's why you ain't found it. Because you looking.
And it'll come from the place you least expect it to come from.
Listen, and let me tell you something else. Forget your list. Don't write your list. Forget your list, baby, because my husband was not nobody on my list. You understand?
I almost ran.
But let me tell you something. That one on my list, you know what? We can't talk about that right now. Since
we're going to have a whole other conversation. I'm telling you, it's a whole other video.
But that one on your list, that's going to be the one that you can't find that night. That's going to be the one that you got to look for. But we're gonna leave that alone. We're not gonna deal with that right now. Because when God sent it to you, you ain't never got to look for it. It's gonna always be where it's supposed to be. Why? Because he sent it. Wait for it. But anyway, move on. Move on before I start. Move on before I start.
Hi. Okay. Okay, so since you already started going into what led up to your husband's death, can you give us more insight to what happened and what was the journey with that?
So around this time last year, when the day before the kids were starting school, he woke up that morning as normal, and for some reason everybody was at the house. So the girls was there, my son was there, his son was there, my godkids were there, like everybody was at the house. So he woke up, and when he woke up, he was like coughing really, really hard. My husband had asthma, chronic asthma, had it from a child. And then because of the humidity of Florida and all that, the heat and all that kind of stuff, it bothered him a little bit more than it bothered most people. And so he woke up that morning and he was coughing very, very hard. And I'm like, well, do you want to go to the ER? Because that don't sound too good. And he was like, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna wait, a while before I go. So he got up. He was up, in the living room area playing the game with the boys, clowning with the kids, because that's just what he did. And I was cooking. So at about 4:30, he was like, I think I need to go to the ER. So he goes to the ER. He's there from about 4:45 until 9:30 p.m. Usually when he goes to the ER, I go with him. But because it was the day before school, we was trying to get things together. He took took his son to go get a haircut the day before. I don't know what was going on with the haircut, but they didn't cut no hair. All they did was give him a tape up. And I'm very fickle about haircuts for boys. Don't do that. We're going to cut the hair, or we not going to cut the hair, but we're not going to do that in between stuff. Period. That's not what we're
going to cut it. I was going to cut it.
So, right. So he has a cousin that cut hair too. So he was like, when I come from the ER, we're going to take Dominic, that's his son, we're going to take him over to Brian's house, that's his cousin, and he stays on the north side. We were staying in Mandarin. And he said, we're going to take him over there and so he can cut his hair right. Cool. So again, usually I go with him to the ER. This time I didn't go, trying to get the girls together, trying to get, make sure Dominic got everything he needs for school as well. And he calls at about 7 and he said they've done nothing. I've been here, they gave me a breathing treatment, that's all it did. I said, do you need to put somebody on the phone? Or do I need to come? He was like, nah, I think they changing shifts. And when they change shifts, I'm going to ask for what I need. I was like, okay. So he calls me at 9:30. He didn't call me back again. He calls me at 9:30. He said, come and get me. So when I go get him, he comes to the car and he's the same way he was when I dropped him off. Usually when he go to the ER, they give him like 50 milligrams of prednisone immediately because he always go to the same ER. So they give him the prednisone immediately to open him up so that the mucus and stuff nobody did none of this. They gave him the same breathing treatment that he was doing at home. That's what they gave him at the hospital. So when he comes to the car, I said, well, it don't look like nothing changed. He was like, I know, let's just go get Dominic haircut and I'll come back. So we go cross town to Northside at his cousin's house, and he's standing up literally, and this is how he breathing. Well, his cousin's wife is a nurse, and she said, well, what did they do? I'm explaining to her what they did, and she was like, no, you need to take him around the corner to this Baptist ER that's around this corner. So I was like, well, you want to go now? And just let Brian finish his hair. Mind you, it's the first day of school tomorrow. It's not now 10 o'clock at night. So I don't want Dominic to be up late, but I don't want my husband to be miserable. So we trying to figure it out. He was like, no, just cut his hair. So, him and his cousin started talking, but he literally standing up and he has to hunch over to breathe because he could not breathe. So his cousin got finished cutting Dominic's hair, and then Skip goes around and he's sitting in the chair because at the time Skip had dreads and he was getting the tape off. So he goes around and sits in the chair. When he sat down, it was over. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't catch his breath. He was like, call 911. Boom. So 911 come in. They get him. And when they take him out, they was like, okay, we got him breathing. This is what they said. Okay, we got him breathing. Okay. I said, where are you taking him? We're taking him around here to the Baptist ER at the end of Dunn Avenue. Cool. I get to the ER and they say, we need you to go in this room. So, mind you, my husband passed away, but my mother passed away. And when I got to the hospital, this is the same words they told me. Those words for the hospital upset me. And so I'm just like, why do I need to go in the room? She said the doctor will come in to see you. I was like, it's not good. So the doctor comes in and she said, what happened? I tell her the whole story. She said, so they just let him leave the hospital like that. I was like, yes. She said, well, on his way here, his heart stopped. Not one time, but 2 times. We got him back and we intubated him, which means that they put him on a ventilator. She said, but he's a big guy. And it was hard for us to put that down his throat with him in the state that he was in. I said, okay, so what does this mean? She said, we are going to transfer him to Baptist downtown because we need to run some tests, so forth and so on. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's okay because my husband has been intubated before. Before he was my husband, he went through that before. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is the same thing. Okay, bet I'm good. let me just handle Dominic. I got to get Dominic home. Get to the hospital the next day, you know, get the girls out for school, get Dominic, and I haven't told the girls anything. Dominic was there. He actually saw everything, but the girls didn't know anything about it. Get to the hospital, and again, they say, before you go in his room, we need you to go in this room. And I'm just like, ugh. Okay. So I go in the room, and then, now I have a doctor, one of us, who said, tell me what happened. I go through the whole spiel, and he said, okay, I need you to walk with me down the hall. So we go down the hall to a whole different space, a whole different room. He said, now I'm gonna take my doctor hat off. And I'm gonna put my God hat on.
Yeah.
He said, because for some reason I just feel like you know who God is. He said, right now you need to pray for your husband because your husband suffered 2 heart attacks.
Jeez.
And he said, and the problem with it is that it could have all been prevented with 1 pill that they could have given him at the hospital. He said, and not only that, I need you to know that you need to call a lawyer immediately. He was like, because I don't know if he gonna get up from this. Now he young, and then I explained to him, like, you know, my husband's life. So my husband was a big guy, but he would make you exercise. Oh my God, he was the worst partner to exercise and walk with ever. He would try to push you. And he was like, and that may help him in this moment. He said, but right now, you need to call on the God that you know in this moment. So right there, you know, I make a prayer room anyway.
Yeah.
So right there, I went into full prayer. I told him, you can leave out. You leave out, leave me here. And I started calling on Jesus, but he answered me in a way that I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
And we don't always understand that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we pray, we earnestly believe that he's going to answer the prayer the way we think.
Right.
That he's going to answer it. But in this instance, he didn't do that.
My God.
All he kept saying was, just prepare yourself. And so I'm listening to them, I'm like, Lord, I can't go through this again. I went through this with my mom, and I don't believe I can go through this again. I started at that moment praying, Lord, call this off. Whatever this is, call it off. Because I don't think that I'm going to be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it through this. And he gave me a calm assurance right there in that moment. I got it. It's just not going to be what you think. Talking to me like he in the room. So I go to my husband's room, and I'm looking at my husband in the state that he in, and I knew at that moment, he's not coming back from this. I knew it at the moment. As soon as I saw him, I was like, no, this not gonna work. This is different from before. And I knew at that moment it wasn't going to be the same. And so at that point, I think I sat at the hospital all day. I didn't call nobody. I think I contacted my godmother to get the girls from school. But beyond that, I just sat there, me and him, and the Lord. A whole conversation. What we gonna do? Because this is what I know. This man is literally my everything. This man is a real husband. He ain't none of these fake husbands. This man a real husband. This man is a help. He's not a help me. He was a whole me. You understand me?
Come on.
So I need to understand, God, why? What are we doing? So we went through a series of tests. They attempted to do CAT scans, but because he was a big guy, they couldn't do it fully. So they brought these things in and they put him on his brain, and they said because he was out for so long, he went brain dead. So only 2% of his brain was working. This was like the same with my mom. The only thing about, well, no, it was the same with my mom. She was out and she went brain dead. Like this thing was lining up the same way, and I was just like, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. And I knew it at that point. I was like, I just need to prepare myself I'm praying for it to turn around because I believe in the God that I pray to.
Yeah.
But I also know that he has a will and a way that we don't understand sometimes.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I realized my husband's gone. And I got to do something else at this point. Like, it was a mess, but I'm still here.
Yes, Lord. My God. That is, I never, and this is one of the reasons I'm doing this, I never knew any of that. Now, I did know that he was in the hospital and all of that kind of stuff, and him being hooked up to machines. I heard about the asthma part of it, but I don't think I ever heard about the heart attacks and all of the everything. That's why I want people to explain, because a lot of times we know that someone died or something happened, but we don't know the details and we don't know what it's like. Because it's not just about the person dying, it's about the journey to the death and the journey after the death. So it's like, okay, not only do I have to prepare for him to die, I have to watch him suffer before he dies.
Yeah, he laid there for
and I think you're on mute, sis. I think you're on mute, sis. I can't hear you.
I'm on mute. I'm not on mute.
Hello, say something. I can't hear you. I don't, hold up. You know what? Let me see. I think I did it on my end. Sorry. Hold up. Lord, thank you for editing. Yep, that was me. My fault. I was trying to sorry. I was trying to turn down something else and turn you down, Lord. But that's fine. Thank you for editing, Lord. Hallelujah.
Boom.
But yeah, like I was saying, that is, tough, I just couldn't ever imagine like having to see that and then to hear what they're saying to you. And then not only because you know how we are, you can say what you want to say, but the God I serve.
Listen, I told the doctor
when God says,
I told the doctor multiple times. I said, I hear what you're saying, but you got to know who I am.
Yeah.
And he said, and I believe who you are.
Yeah.
Because I ain't never heard nobody say that before. I said, I believe I hear what you're saying, but you got to know what I am. Until he take his last breath, I'm going to believe in what I believe in.
Right.
And the doctor, he totally understood that. But my husband laid there for 2 weeks, and I watched him go from my husband to a body for 2 weeks. I watched him swell. The thing about it is he was 2% here, but everything else was still functioning. So that confused me a little bit because he was still, he would cough. It wasn't like he couldn't move. He would move his hands. It's just that if I put my hand in his hand, he didn't know to grasp my hand. It was stuff like that. So it was still confusing, but I sat and watched him go again from my husband to a body. And another part of it was having to take him off of the machine. Again, lining up with my mom, had to do the same thing. And I'm I'm the only child that my mom had. And so I went through that and wasn't a good feeling. Bad feeling to have to sign paperwork for somebody to take something that may end somebody's life. I don't know if everybody felt that before. That's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling because you don't know if you're making the right decision.
Right.
And I told them, I don't want to be God in this situation. I want him to do what he's going to do.
Right.
I don't want to be the person that take him off of this. I don't want to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm the only person that could.
Yeah.
And so you have to weigh it out. Do you want him to sit here and be miserable? Because we don't know if he's in pain. He's not able to breathe. We don't know what's going on. Do you want him to sit? And so you got to work all of that out in your mind. It is overwhelming. Overwhelming. Absolutely. So that's where I was. It was just.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, and I have those kind of discussions with my husband and with other people I'm close to, like my family and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, to have to come to that moment and have to make those kind of decisions.
Worst
It's like,
part.
listen here, I done already told them, don't call me. I'm not, I know my strength. See, on your end, you didn't have a choice because you were the only child and that was your husband. On my end, I have sisters and a brother. And
Right.
matter of fact, I told my auntie, you just take your auntie because my mama, I'm not gonna be
No.
listen. So I said I'd already
I don't
told them
wish it on nobody.
I would hate for anybody and for you to have to make that decision about your husband and your mom.
Yeah.
That is like, that's what I'm saying. This journey of grief can be on so many different levels because it's like I have to grieve watching them die. I have to grieve them die, and I have to grieve the fact that I had to make this decision that ultimately I don't know, but I didn't want them to suffer. But at the same time, it's like I'm battling against, do I want them to stay here for me, or do I want to release them for them?
Right.
You know,
that is the absolute decision that you have to make. Like, you have to decide, do I want to be selfish?
Yeah.
Or do I not want to be selfish?
Right.
If I was in this position, what would I want for myself? If he was standing up before me, would he say, Aquarius, what is wrong with you and why you taking so long?
Yeah.
I actually had a dream 2 days before I took him off. And he was in the you know, laying down in the bed in the house. And he took the thing out and looked at me like he had the ventilator in his hand, and he pulled it out and he looked at me and he put it back in and laid it back down. And I was like, now, you know what you not gonna do, sir? Don't do that. Okay?
Right. Because what you doing, like,
now wait a minute. That was the most vivid dream I have ever had in my life. That thing was vivid. I was like, is he really telling me to do this? Like, it's weird. You have to decide, do you want to be selfish and keep them here? Do you want, because at a certain point, they can't keep a person on a ventilator for a long time. They have to cut their throat and put it in their throat. Do you want him to do that?
Yeah.
That's the kind of, and my husband, first of all, he would have never wanted to be laying up in the hospital in a bed. That's the first thing. So I just had to put all of that. But it was hard. That was the hardest decision of my life.
Yes, see, that's why I just was reaching out and saying, sis, I'm here. I love you. So, because I don't know, like, I have never been in those positions. So I don't know, like, and so for anybody to be trying to come up with these words and trying to say the right thing, I don't think there is a right thing to say. Like, sis, I'm here.
The worst question that anybody can ask is, are you all right? I was like, please don't ask me that question. Are you okay? Don't answer that question. And I don't want to say it in a rude or ignorant way, a rude way.
Yeah.
But I just need you to think about the circumstance.
Yeah.
And think about, would you be all right? Don't ask me that question.
Yeah.
That was the worst question ever. Still is sometimes. People get, are you okay? I just like, don't ask me that.
Yep, I tell people all the time, think about your wording, and that's why when I reach out to people, I be like, hey, how are you doing? How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Because to say, are you all right? It's like, and in my case, I may be all right if somebody died, because everybody don't care like that for real now. If they, but I'm not getting that. But some other people might have a whole freaking meltdown. And what I don't want folk to do is go off on me when I'm really just trying to check on them. But they be like, how you gonna ask me that? See, I don't want, hey, how are you feeling? So I can gauge where I need to go next.
Because it's so different. When my mom died, that was one death, right? When my husband died, that was on a whole nother level.
Yeah, y'all connected on a whole nother level.
That's two different grief moments because with my mom, I know that my mom had lived her life.
Right.
I know that my mom was tired of being sick.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. And I know given the option, do I stay here and be able to be free in my healing? Or do I go back to the world and have to take insulin and medicine and this and that? I knew for a fact that my mom was at peace. When they took that thing out of my mom's mouth, the way that she just went into this peaceful mode, I knew that my mom was fine. I grieved my mom for years because I'm my only child.
Right.
And that's the one person who I knew, the constant. She was it, who I knew. So that grief and my husband's grief was totally different because now this is my husband. This is the person who my ride or die. Like this dude been like this is it's a different type of, just like it's a different type of love, it's a different type of grief.
Yeah.
I was like, I grieved my mom, but I never was depressed. I never felt, I never feel none of that. I knew it was a peaceful situation with her. My husband, on the other hand, I was depressed and I didn't even know it.
Mm. Yeah.
I was going to work. I cried coming from work. I cried to go to sleep. I cried when I woke up. I would come to church and lose my mind and cry. I would go home from church, cry. I mean, I was like, listen, now, girl, I cried. And I didn't even know I was depressed because I have never suffered from depression.
Right.
So I didn't even know that's what was going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what was going on in my life. I would wake up crying. I would go to bed crying. I would drive to work crying. One time I had to pull over on the Bookman Bridge because I was crying so hard I couldn't see. I would cry going into work. I would have to wear shades so people wouldn't look at my eyes because the people at my job, they were just like, Aquarius, you need to, because my husband died on the 25th. His memorial was maybe on the 30th. And on the 1st of September was like a Monday. I went to work. I didn't stay home. I went straight to work. And they were like, you sure you need to be here? Like you might want to let me be here. Just let me be here because I can't be at home. Like, and I didn't even know I was depressed until Bishop talked to me. That's when I realized, because everybody kept saying, you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You need to go and talk to somebody. But in my mind, I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to understand nothing that they can say going to make me feel better.
And that's part of depression.
You see what I'm saying?
That's part of depression.
Because they don't have a word for me. If what they say don't make my husband walk back through this door, why are we talking?
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Yeah. That's how depression look, man. That's part of depression.
I didn't even know I was depressed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I didn't know. And then Bishop told me, like I would go to church, like in Oakleaf, and I would just be sitting there. I don't know what Bishop talking about because my mind is like somewhere else. And one day he told me, you're in a dark place.
Yeah.
Because everybody know me as the prayer person.
Yeah.
I've been praying. I'm that person. My mom taught me how to pray, literally. And I'm always that strong person in prayer. The part of the depression was, I have laid my hand on people and they recovered in prayer. Right before this happened, there was a lady at church. I prayed for her. She tells me, this when Bishop used to have us pray for the people at the altar. And she comes up. I always ask the people, what do you want me to pray for? And she said, I have cancer. I forgot what kind of cancer it was. But she said, I have cancer. I went to the doctor. They said there's nothing they could do. I might have to have surgery, blase squaze. So here I am. It was on the first Sunday, and I'm praying for this lady. And I sat down after the prayer, and it didn't really sit well with me. I tell Cicely, I was like, this lady said she got cancer. She said the doctor said that it ain't nothing they can do. I said, and she talking like she already dead. And sis was like, oh no, sis, we got to go get her. So I go in the back of the church. I tell her to come here, and I walk her in faith. And we walking in the back. I said, and you got to speak life. You got to speak faith. You got to do. And then this lady, I preached at church the sermon about all I know is what I see. And the day that I preached, she sends me a message and she said, I'm the lady who you prayed for, whatever, and I want you to know all accounts are gone.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, I have touched people and prayed for them and they have recovered. Yeah. But I touched my husband and he won't wake up.
Jesus. Yeah.
That thing, girl, that thing, it went past my heart being broken to now my soul is, I got problems. Yeah. So now I'm becoming angry with God. Jesus. Because how you allow me to pray for other people and they recover? This is the man that you sent me.
That you sent. Yeah.
And I touched him and he won't move. Nothing is happening. He's not getting better. I'm praying the same way. I'm praying harder than I pray for other people. I'm fervent in my prayer. And this man not moving. What is wrong with this picture? That's when I realized the one thing that we forget as humans is that we here, but we in his control.
Yeah.
I don't care what we forget that. We forget the part that when he say it's done.
Yeah.
It's done for real.
It's done for real.
And we can pray till the sun come up and the moon go down 17 billion times. But guess what? It's done for real.
It's done.
And so at that point, you got to put on your big girl drawers and you got to understand that for real is done. But I didn't. I went into a whole depression from September to December 29th. I went into a whole depression and I didn't even realize that I was depressed. I just thought that I was grieving, but it was far beyond. Yeah, because I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to come to church. Kayla would say, "Mom, you need to do this. You need to do that." Like, it was really, really, really bad. And then on the night before my birthday, Bishop had just preached this sermon about coming out of a dark place. The night before my birthday is on December 30th. And I was in my room and I closed the door and I just went into prayer for myself. Because nobody else could pray what I needed. Yeah. I done talked to preachers, I done talked to my bishop, but can't nobody pray what I need but me. That's how I figured in my mind. In order for me to come out of this, I gotta open my mouth. Because I wouldn't open my mouth. I gotta open my mouth. And I said, God, I don't want to mourn this another day.
Jesus.
Because he wouldn't want me to be in this space.
Yeah.
And I said, God, I don't want to mourn this another day. I can grieve, but I don't want to mourn this another day. I got to wake up tomorrow and I got to be all right. I got to be all right. I got to stop this crying. I can't deal with this crying. This crying is overwhelming. It overwhelmed me to cry. I was like, I don't got no more tears. I just need this to stop. I need you to give me a peace and a strength that I have no idea. I can't even imagine it. Yeah. Because I don't want to mourn this another day. And let me just advise, he answered my prayer that night because I never mourned it another day. Now, I may grieve it a little bit, but I've even worked through that grieving process. Like last week, it was super heavy for me. Because I'm on Facebook and I get a memory.
Yeah, the memories, boy. The memories.
I looked at it and I said, and it was the picture that I took of him when he walked out the hospital and I said, you look the same way you look when you went in. I took a picture of him that night. That picture came up as a memory on Monday. Tried to take me out. It tried to. That thing tried to take me out. I was like, listen, so this is what we're going to do. Because I prayed too hard for myself for me to go back to what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what
you got to fight for it.
Monday, it was heavy. Tuesday, it was heavy. Wednesday, I was I work from home, so I was in the office. I'm working in the office at the house, and I'm on the phone, and everything just got a little cloudy. I was like, you know what? I'm done for the day. So I tell them, y'all know what's up. I'm done for the day. I'll see y'all. I'm gonna log back in tomorrow. I just need some hours to handle. I just need some hours to get. So I decided I'm done for the day. I get in, I lay down, and I'm like, God, let me grieve today. Tomorrow we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Take it from me today. He did just that.
My God.
It's grieving is so weird. Like, people say you gotta choose to grieve. No, you don't choose to grieve. It come out of nowhere, and you have no idea that it's hitting you like that. Like, I had to move, and I had panic attacks while I was moving because I had been in the space with my husband for 3 years.
Yeah.
And now I got to move out this space. I was losing. This just happened in June. I didn't even know. I thought I was good. I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm good. Like, I organized the packing. I'm Gucci. I got it. Man, I went to this storage house, and I came back to the storage, and I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Oh my God, I don't know what the heck going on. Grief.
Yeah.
Because there's so many forms you don't even know.
Yeah.
Grief. It's grieving is so weird. It's absolutely weird. Everybody got a different way of doing it though.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Lord, I tell you, you right. It's different kinds, and everyone has different ways, you know. And like I said, I haven't grieved certain people, but the people that I have grieved, that's why when you were talking about the depression, I knew exactly what you were talking about because when my god brother got killed some years ago, that was the first like significant person that I had lost like that, and so and that was like in my 20s. And I didn't know until my best friend told me that I was depressed because I didn't know. And I had dealt with some form of depression before, but not from somebody dying. So I just thought I was just going on with life or whatever. And she was like, no. And mine was different from, now I don't know, but mine was different. I was crying and stuff, but I was nasty. Ooh, I was nasty. And my friend said, and she was like, when you were nasty to me, I knew you was depressed. She said, because you were like unmanageable. Like it was hard to deal with you. And I legit told her, friend, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
Like I don't remember.
Even aware.
I don't even remember doing that to you.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. I just felt like I was going through life. I felt like I was going on because I was waking up every morning. I was getting up out my bed every morning. I wasn't crying as much as I thought I would. So I thought I was dealing with it fine. She was like, no, friend, you was nasty. And I would see how you would talk to certain people and what you would do. And I was like, friend, I really did not know. Till this day, me and her talk about that. And I'm like, I cannot. And that's why I try to get to people and try to help people before they get to that point. Because when you get in that dark place and don't know you're in that dark place, it's so hard to get out of it. It's so hard to come out of that dark place. Because you don't even know how you got in it. You don't even know.
Just playing there. You seriously. I had people, I guess because, you know, when you do like ministry stuff, people look at you different and they feel like she doing all this praying and all this kind of stuff, but she's sitting up here doing all, she crying. I guess there was like a misconception because, and this just from something that somebody told me, she was just like, when you were at the memorial, you seemed fine.
I can see that. I can see why they said that.
She said you seem fine, but afterwards you could literally see it on you.
Yeah.
And I told her at the memorial point I was over. I didn't even want to come. I was super late. I was supposed to be at the house at 10 o'clock. I didn't get to the house until 10:55, and it started at 11. I didn't want to. I was over it. So all of that hoopla that was going on, I wasn't even there mentally.
Yeah.
Because I was over it.
Yeah.
But then after this memorial, you go back to life.
Yeah.
And when you go back to life and realize
Yeah.
he not at work,
Yeah.
he ain't never walking through the door. You ain't never gonna see him no more. It's done.
My God.
That take on a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
And the fact that right after that was our anniversary.
Yeah.
That take on so much. See, when you have a birthday, you can share your birthday with other people.
Right.
Because it's your birthday. But when you have an anniversary with a person and the person is not there to share the anniversary, you realize, oh, this thing is for real, for real.
Yeah.
And that thing broke me down, my heart. That on the other end, that part, and then the part where I have children and they have their own grief.
Yeah.
And you as a mother, see, I was a single mother before I was a married mother. And my goal in life with my kids is always to make sure they straight.
Yeah.
I'm protective of my kids. Don't do too much to them because you might have me going downtown. That's just period.
Pretty much.
So for them to be in a place of grief and you can't fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
So this is when I think the depression stuff started. It literally started on my anniversary because them girls were like, they would cry all night long. Literally. My son, he was the strength. My girls, because they were with this man all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he would go and pick them up from school, child. They making videos, YouTube, they clowning, dancing. This is his life with them, and now that's gone.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a parent, it ain't nothing you can say to him.
It's nothing.
Because you can't bring that back. You can't fix it. The only thing that you can try to do is be a pillar of strength. But how are you going to be the pillar when you ain't got nothing to leave? Girl, y'all don't understand. That thing took me out. And then that's how I went into that place where, and I wouldn't cry, I wouldn't cry where they could see me. Yeah. I was crying in the car. I was crying, in my room with the door closed. But when I came before them, I got a straight face. That can not only confuse my church, that can confuse anybody. So then they say dumb stuff like, you look like you all right. Yeah. Oh, you look like what you've been through. Please don't say none of that to me. You look like you're fine. Oh, you're going through life great. Oh, you're so strong. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just not letting you see that. But I'm not. Yeah. Don't say, oh, see, you're the prayer warrior, so you can't do this, and you got to look this way. I'm not gonna be able to do none of that.
No.
I gotta go through. If I don't process it, I'm gonna be a mess.
A whole mess. And y'all really gonna be talking.
And because look, if I get mad,
listen.
I'm disrespectful. I already know it. So just let me go.
We praise God, because I wouldn't have been able to survive. We praise God, because that baby is a mess on a good day.
Yeah,
so we praise God.
Yeah, don't. But I had people say some weird stuff to me. My dad, recently, I'm telling my dad, I don't feel like, when I moved, I felt a certain way. He said, I don't want to hear that. I was saying that you should honor your parents.
That's what it says.
So life can be longer. Now, they didn't say I had to celebrate, but they just said honor. So if he need me, but when he said that to me, I was like, that's how you know that people don't understand grief.
Yeah.
Because that man literally said out of his mouth, I don't want to hear that. Like, you have people who really feel that at a certain point you should be over it.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Because Jen said it, and a couple of that. It's like people put a time frame on it, and it's like,
who puts the time frame on you losing
The
your
people
husband? Are
that
you losing
haven't
your
done it.
child? Are you
People that
losing
haven't
your
done it.
people really in real life? People think that I should not be in a place where I'm still crying about him. And I'm just trying to figure out what is the date that I shouldn't do it no more? What's
What
the
is the
termination
day?
date?
When is the when is the day?
Tell me what it is so I can know what I'm looking forward to.
Because child, because my husband go out of town and I be on the verge of tears. So you gonna tell somebody.
But you know why that happens? Because he's a husband.
Yeah.
See, the reason why you don't know, because you ain't never had no husband. See, they was all boyfriends and playmates, and well, we'll talk about that later. But anywho, when you have somebody who take care of you, see, the problem is if he die and you don't miss him, something is wrong.
There's something wrong.
So what is the termination date?
That's
Maybe I missed it.
Like you can't, like I was at a funeral of a lifelong, like I known this man since I was a little girl, and he was friends of my mom, and his wife was friends of my mom growing up at Philippian. And he passed away a couple of weeks ago, and we went to his funeral, and his wife came out. Now she's like my mom's age. So to see her come out, and they literally like had to almost carry her into the service.
Yeah.
And I know as in some people's small mind, they'd be like, why is she doing all that? Why? If you have lived life with somebody for at least, because like I say, I've known him since I was a little girl, and I'm in my 30s. So if you have lived life with somebody for at least 30 some odd years, and you don't feel like the world is about to end on you, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he wasn't a husband. That was a playmate. Y'all played well together. Y'all had good times and playing.
All day y'all can say we supposed to be happy when they leave, and I hear all that.
Oh.
But when you have lived life, that's why I said with you and your husband, that's something different because y'all connected on a different level because y'all live life together.
Right.
So when you have lived life with somebody, you know, like you're not going to be able to tell me. Okay. No, like. That's why I tell people all the time, like, listen, that's the kind of stuff I pray about. I be like, God, listen, I see what you're doing with other people. Like when your husband died or whatever, I said, Lord, I was praying for you while I was praying for me. Because I was like, God, I don't know how she gonna do it because I don't know how I would do it.
Yeah.
I just need you to keep keeping my husband, Lord. I was like, Lord, because sis, y'all gonna have to come here. Yeah. So we gonna praise God and we gonna hope that God holds out.
Listen. Yeah. I listen. I don't wish it on nobody.
Because I'm watching it, it's like because even with Miss Gwen Nelson, like it's like you don't even know where it's gonna touch.
Yeah.
It's like unexpected. Like I didn't expect to get those phone calls about you and her and other people. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. I'm telling you, I wouldn't wish it. That husband thing, I don't wish that on nobody. Especially, like I said, if you got a husband, a real husband, baby.
Especially like you said before, once you've done it wrong and seen it done wrong, and then you get it and it's done right.
Right.
That's a whole different kind of connection and feeling. Like
Toya, the fact that I wasn't looking for a husband, and he came and this happened, that pissed me off in a whole nother way.
Because
I'm like, I didn't even ask for this.
I didn't even ask for this.
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
And so it's mind-boggling. I don't wish no, and sometimes in my thinking, I'm just like, you know, God, I know who you are, but I still don't understand. Because that man has so much life to live. That man touched so many people. My husband was a football coach. My husband played football in high school. He played football in college at EWC. He played baseball. And I'm just like, that man touched so many little boys. He had so many dreams and aspirations for children and kids who, you know, lived in, you know, bad neighborhoods and stuff. His goal was always to start his own football league and go and get the kids and bring them and teach them stuff. And he had so much to live for. My husband was not a churchgoer. Wasn't because he didn't believe in God, because his mama would pray Jesus in the room, honey, and you see Jesus, you feel him sitting right next to you, because that's what mother was on the prayer table with the prayer. So he was not a church goer. Like, he would come if I had something going on, if the kids would have something on, or sometimes he would come, but he would sit at St. Paul, all the way at the top, all the way to the back of the balcony. Simply because that's only child syndrome. Don't like to be around a lot of people. That's how he was. He's just a gentle fool. That's what he was, because he's an old clown. And so, but sometimes I would wake up and my husband is on his knees praying for me. Sometimes I would wake up and he would be at my feet praying for me. I would wake up and the man is praying for me. So see, when you have that type of husband, it's mind body. You just like, God, what in the world is going on? Like, and for a minute, I couldn't hear the word couple. Lord have mercy. I couldn't hear the word anniversary. I couldn't hear my wife this and my, oh my God. I just wanted to ball up and stay in the room and never come out for them kind of words. As a matter of fact, when this was happening, James and Sierra was getting married. And I talked, me, James, and Jared, what y'all call him, Jared? Us three, we kind of have a special bond. So I was just like, oh, I'm going to be to the wedding, and when I tell you, I couldn't even look at the pictures. Like,
I understand that.
Lord, I mean, I was a mess. And I sit and think about that now, and I'm just like, God, I'm supposed to be somewhere in a straitjacket losing my mind.
Listen.
But I thank God that you kept my mind, because listen, it's people who've been through that, and they ain't come out like I did. You know what I'm saying? It's people who, like, I lost my mom and my husband in a matter of years. I ain't got no support system like a bunch of people do. Not because it's not people who to support me, but I am a private person.
You are very much a loner.
Yeah, I don't really hang around groups. I don't really hang around people. I don't talk on the phone. It's not that I don't, and it's never that I don't want to be that person, but I'm not that person.
You're just the introvert, and I married one. I can't with y'all.
Lisa, I don't have a huge support system. When I went through this, my aunt, who's with me now, is my mom's sister, and you like my cousin, and the Elder Bells, Jared and Brandy.
Yes,
they were like,
Bells.
Yes, they were like there for me constantly. They got the girls. They made sure they ate. It was that type of thing. My church was great. My operational manager at work, he was the head doctor. That's what we was calling him, because he would, like, I would be on the telephone with a customer and they'll be like, my husband just died, and they breaking down. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's going on with their mortgage. They don't even know if they name on the house. And honey, that people will start crying. I just like, oh God. I'm just gone. He'd be like, hey, hang her phone up, baby, come here. Just sit down. Just sit down. You want something? I'm going to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to get something to eat. I know you don't want to eat, but I'm off it. That's how it was. Like, because I don't have like that huge support system. I really don't. But I thank God for the people who were there at that time, and the people who still, because there's still people who reach out and they just be like, I'm just checking on you. I know this is a rough week. Like Brandy, she's done that this week, and and you. And so it's a hard pill to swallow, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to advise that I'm so much better. Because the way that, first of all, I've never talked to anybody about this.
Yeah.
You're the first person. So the fact that I can sit here and talk and not cry, I know that God, He giving me that strength that I need.
When I tell you, and I promise you, each video I have done, I have legit had to try to hold back tears. Y'all know I'm a water bag. But Because each one of y'all have said the same thing, and that's how I know it's God. Because even when in me asking you guys, I was like, I don't know, God, I don't know, because y'all don't talk to people about this, and this is a very tough subject. But I know with the times that we're dealing with right now, it's at an all-time high. So it's like, and not only grieving someone dying, but you're grieving other things as well. So I need people that are able to talk to that. And I don't want to get the person that always talk about it, or the person that is on a platform or something like that. I want to get people that are really going to be able to touch people in a place that I could probably never touch them, or someone else could never touch them. So when I was asking, the fact that all of y'all gave me a quick guess when I asked y'all, I'm so honored for that. And the fact that y'all have been so open about, because like I say, a lot of this I didn't even know was going on. I just wanted to be there for you. I didn't know it was happening, but the fact that you're sharing this, it is definitely going to help somebody that feels like they're alone, and they probably have been looking at you like, oh, she's handling it so well. And to know that this was your journey, that will help them even more. Because a lot of times when you see people handle stuff a certain way, you feel like, oh, let me get it together because Aquarius has been handling this and I shouldn't be around. You know, people always say somebody that does worse off than you or whatever. So it's like, if she dealing with her husband dying like that, then I need to get myself together. And we try to reach this goal that sometimes is not attainable by the very person that you think is attaining it. They not handling it like you think they are. They just don't want you, like you say, I don't want you to see it, but I'm on the inside, I'm dying.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
You may not know that. You don't need to know that.
Because it's my business. All right.
Because it's my business. But now that you're able to, like you say, get through it and not cry, I've heard everybody has said that to me. And that's how I know not only that God is giving you guys a peace, but as well that this all was God, and God really wants people to be helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even despite some of y'all won't see it because my editing skills are getting a little better, even despite the recording issues that I'm having and stuff like that, I understand when the enemy is at work. I understand when the enemy doesn't want something to be known, and I understand when he doesn't want someone to be free. I understand that. So I have to fight through some of the things that some people would say, you know what, bump this, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. I don't have time for this. This is not that serious. I fight through those things, and I'm not embarrassed by those things, because at the end of the day, it's life. It happens. Some of the best of us have recording issues and all that kind of stuff, but this is going to get out, and somebody's going to be helped. And you know, we always say, even if it's only one, I'm so serious about that, because that one person could be on the verge of taking their life. That one person can be on the verge of giving up. That one person cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to be able to help that one person to live life another day.
Absolutely. That one person is the very person that you're supposed to help.
That's it. And we bless God. And I'm so glad, sis, that you were able to join me. I'm so glad that you shared. I didn't even have to ask you all my questions, because you, out of your heart, answered it all and more. And I tell you, it definitely is going to be helpful, because it helped me, you know, and I'm just amazed. Every story I've heard, I'm just absolutely amazed. Like I said, I haven't lost a child. I haven't lost a husband, haven't lost a mom. So I don't know how those things directly feel. So to see how you guys are dealing with it, it's like, God, you really can do anything.
Yes, he can.
Because like you said, I didn't think I was going, I told God, I don't think I'm going to be able to deal. And a whole year later, you here.
Right. I knew I wasn't going to be able to deal. I'm like, Lord, look here. Because this right here, this is too much.
It's too much. But God,
this is too much.
But God is amazing. God is amazing. Absolutely. God is awesome. God can do some things, even though we don't want to lose people. But that is life. You know, the older we get, we're going to lose people, you know, and we got to be able to deal with it in better ways than some of us do deal with it. you know. So I just bless God, and I pray that God continues to keep all of us, you know, because again, even though I'm saying all this, your girl not. but but I pray that he continues
Nobody
to,
is prepared for anything like that. I'm just put that out there. Like, you are never prepared. But if you know who God is,
yeah,
just know that he's always in control. So the things that you're not prepared for, he gives you the strength to be prepared,
yeah,
and you don't even know it. So just always know that he's like in control. We just here like this, we just passing through.
we're passing through.
And we get to it. The next place is our goal.
Yeah.
And they don't always feel good.
Mm-mm.
For people to leave you, but then you have to think about it. It's his way
Yeah.
and his will.
Yeah.
And and that's the God we serve. Look, he is everything that he said he would be.
Yeah.
Everything they wrote about him, he's living up to who he's supposed
living
to
up
be.
to it.
You hear me? He's
Yeah.
everything that he said that he would be. So that way, that's the one thing that we gotta focus on. He is everything that he said that he would be. That means that he is too able to fail. So he's gonna always.
So able.
He's
Huh?
always. He's gonna always
not doing it.
Keep you and put you in the right place. You're gonna go through it, you're gonna cry about it, it's gonna be devastating, you will be depressed sometimes, you will be like, I'm done, I don't wanna do it. And as soon as you throw in that towel, he's gonna throw it back and say, I'm too able.
Too able. That's it, sis. That's the word. He's too able, but I'm not going to do that because you done had Aquarius again. Like I said, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much being so open, and I know somebody's going to be helped. So as I said earlier, guys, this is a stiletto piece that I am wearing. She is the owner.
We have evolved. That's the first kind, child. We have evolved.
Listen, we have evolved, honey, because I got this. You are very correct. When she first started out, because one thing about me, I support everybody, okay? So when she first came out, honey, I got other ones. I just didn't want to, because I got this one that go like all here.
Come on.
I went doing that on this video.
We don't know.
I didn't want to be extra, so I had to wear the smaller one. So yes, this is one of her first ones. Yes. But so baby has evolved. So just imagine what you could get. So Aquarius, tell the people where they can see your work and how they can get in contact with you to get some stiletto pieces.
So I have a Facebook page, Stiletto Pieces. Just type it in, boom, it's gonna show up. You can also go to my Instagram. So let me just advise. I'm trying to get my little business together and my life together with this whole business thing. Meacham Clark is working some things. You know, he gave me some ideas a while ago, so I'm kind of putting those into place. COVID kind of turned some things around. But anyway, we're going to move on from that. So you can I haven't got a Stiletto Pieces Instagram yet, but I'm working on it. So until then, you can go to Minister or MINAL Skipper on Instagram, Stiletto Pieces on Facebook. You can also send emails over to stilettopieces@yahoo.com for orders or just whatever your ideas are. I'm gonna just take your idea and we're gonna run. Yeah, we're gonna run with the idea. So I'm working on my business stuff because I just Stiletto Pieces started with Chantel Williams,
my sister. Hey,
said, Aquarius, I actually wore a bow when I preached my trial sermon at St. Paul. I did it for me. It wasn't for anybody else. But Chantel Williams said, Aquarius, I'm about to do a photo shoot and I need a bow like what you had. And that's how Stiletto Pieces started. So, yeah, that is how it started.
Come on, sis.
Yeah, so whatever your idea is, we just take your idea and we just multiply it times 10.
Yeah.
And when I look at the bow and shake my head, it's a banger. Let's go ride with that.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, go look, and she has pictures of some of her other creations as well. And if you have not, so just know stiletto pieces when you want to just up the ante a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just do your thing. So that is all for today. That is all I have. Thank you for joining the Complete Woman Podcast Talks with Toya. I appreciate you again, Aquarius. You're amazing. I love you, sis. You guys can follow me. They love my fingers. I can't. You guys can follow me on all platforms. Latoya Shantae Kite. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube page and hit the notification bell.
If you had to mess that up, that was gonna be a mess.
Don't do it. Hit the notification bell and make sure you subscribe to my podcast, The Complete Woman. Subscribe to the Complete Woman Podcast as well. And
tell all your friends.
You can follow the Complete Woman on Facebook as well. And if you want to email me, if you want to contact me, if you want to book me, you can go to the Complete Woman 19 at gmail.com. If you have any questions, you have any topics, or if you want to join me on Talks with Toya on the Complete Woman Podcast, you can reach me there as well. So thank you guys for tuning in.